Hi, John McElroy here talking all things automotive. Today, I want to talk about productivity. Specifically, I want to get into who's the most productive car company in the world. I've made a list of the top global car companies and ranked them from best to worst based on how efficient they are. There's a number of ways of measuring productivity. One way is to look at manufacturing efficiency. That entails going into every assembly plant and calculating how many labor hours it takes to make a car and adjusting that for absenteeism and overtime and for what's outsourced versus what's made in-house. That's what the Harbor Report did years ago, and I was heavily involved in writing those reports when they first came out. But who's got the time to go and visit every assembly plant? And besides, we don't want to just look at manufacturing productivity. We want to look at the overall efficiency of a company. How much can it make with what it's got? And one simple measure to do that is to take how many vehicles a car company makes in a year and divide that by how many people work at the company. That tells you how many cars each employee could theoretically make in a year. To use the industry jargon, they call it cars per employee. Obviously, that includes every employee. Designers, marketing people, engineers, clerks, vice presidents, factory workers, all of them. And taking all of them into account gives you a good measure of the overall efficiency of a car company. And so, drum roll please, based on that measure, the most efficient car company in the world is Toyota. Each one of its 372,000 employees can make 23 cars a year. The Hyundai Group is in second place. It has 278,000 employees, and each one of them can make nearly 22 cars. Of course, when I say cars, that includes trucks, SUVs, and vans. We're talking about everything, even engines and transmissions and stampings and moldings. Okay, the third most efficient company is Stellantis. It has 281,000 employees who can make 21.4 cars apiece. In fourth place, we've got Nissan. It's got 136,000 employees, and each one of them can make 19.1 cars. After that, General Motors and Ford are almost tied at just over 18 cars per employee. GM has 157,000 employees, while Ford has 183,000. By the way, these numbers are adjusted, so they don't count the vehicles that these companies make in China. Those vehicles are made by joint venture partners, and they don't count in this calculation, with one exception. I'll get to that in a moment. I've also got to take a quick sidetrack here to explain why BMW and Honda are not on my list. And that's because they don't break out how many employees are involved in making motorcycles, or in Honda's case, of making motorcycles and power products like lawnmowers and wave runners. And not being able to break out those employees really hurts their productivity ranking based on this cars per employee measure. So that's why they're not on the list. Okay, now on to the seventh spot, Volkswagen. It employs a staggering 672,000 people around the world, the most of any automaker. And each one of those people can make about 13 cars a year. By the way, this is the one exception where I am including the number of people who work at VW's joint venture partners in China. And that's because VW is the only car company that includes those JV employees when it reports the total number of people who work at the company. In eighth spot, Tesla. It has almost 100,000 employees who make 9.4 cars a year. But I think that's going to change this year as the new assembly plants in Berlin and Austin ramp up to line speed. Remember, Tesla only had 2 assembly plants making cars last year. And as it ramps up those new plants, it's going to add production far faster than it adds employees. So I would expect Tesla to race up the rankings next year. And now we come to the last place on my list, Mercedes-Benz. It has over 250,000 employees who can make just over 4 cars apiece. Now that doesn't sound very good, but Mercedes has got to be laughing to the bank all the way. As I pointed out in a prior video, Mercedes makes the most profit per vehicle of any car company. Even so, I would expect that Ola Källenius, the CEO of Mercedes, will want to figure out how to make his company more productive, because that would drop even more money to the bottom line. And so there you have it, the ranking of the car companies of the world based on their overall efficiency. I hope you like these videos, and if you do, please subscribe to Autoline's YouTube channel if you have not done so already.